Welcome to the final edition of the Bones of Advertising / the Glittery Bones of Advertising forever.
That's big.
The end.
That's news to me. I thought we were just going on a hiatus.
No, this is the end. We're done. Toodaloo to you all.
We can keep it open-ended. We might think.
No, we won't. It's done.
That,
it's never happening again on my watch.
Who's what's his name? John Farnham. Who's like, this is my last concert. This is my last concert. 10 years later, this is my last concert.
A bit of Smelting John as well. He does that, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's like, just let it go, let it go.
I'll just say, though, on that, Rocket Man is probably still one of the most fabulous of all the fabulous. Pretty good. Not quite at the same level as Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's
Mr. Edgerton, I don't know whether that was actually him singing, but if it was, damn, not bad at all. Yeah. So what I thought we'd talk about today is the end of the Bones, and obviously there's been nearly 4 years of it, 4 seasons. Is that right, or am I making it up? Is it 3?
Look, I'm not going to fact check you. There's been lots. We've had lots.
Kind of started in COVID times, thinking about looking at more diverse ways to create content and put a good message out to market. And it kind of started with, a bunch of sort of conversational pieces being between myself and the most fabulous Jack Daniels, aka John Douglas, also known as JD, talking about some of the strategic elements of campaigning, which I thought was kind of, good and fun. And I remember being super nervous and, worried about what I said and didn't want to do anything that was kind of, not politically correct. Kind of hasn't changed for me in 4 years. I still feel exactly the same. No, I'm just kidding. And then we kind of went through a little phase where we interviewed some clients as well. We had a chat to clients about their business and how they were coping in the COVID time. And then we decided, you know what? I wonder whether the world wants some freshness added, so do they need like a little spritz under the armpit kind of thing just before you move into a meeting? And then out comes you two. You two kind of jumped in for the last season and a half or 2 seasons or whatever it was.
It's been wild.
But my take on it is it's been really fun. I think the thing that I learned most is how simple it is to produce content, how it really isn't a difficult thing. It's just a matter of being confident enough to put yourself in a position where you're happy to go out there and talk about some stuff that you believe you know a little bit about. And I think the beauty for me with all of that, having smarter people on the calls or on the Zooms, which then become our podcast, has been fun, been really good. So, everyone's been able to add some authority to my baffling bullshit, which has been kind of good.
It's not bullshit. You say lots of things that, have merit and hold weight.
Let's not say lots. I say some things, but most things definitely have a bit of bull and a lot of shit.
No, you've got a big brain that's been shared, which is lovely.
I don't have a big brain. I have a big mouth with a big moustache that looks like a walrus.
Is a solid.
Yeah, it's kind of got a bit long all of a sudden, the old Tash. I imagine that you'll do your standard review where you'll show me over a period of 4 years, fat, skinny, like just as you go through all of the, the whole
the journey.
55 million episodes. Yeah, it'll be fun to see that, I'm sure.
I've enjoyed it. I think you made a really good point, Craig, and it's something that we chat to our clients a lot about is podcasting and getting content out there is not necessarily podcast, any form of getting content out there, whether it's, a quick reel on Instagram. Sometimes it doesn't need to be overcooked, and it's more about having the confidence to put your voice out there, put your opinion out there, especially in a professional services environment, having some thought leadership content coming directly from key leaders within the business doesn't need to be hard and overcooked sometimes. So
yeah, I think you're right. I think it's important.
I think also kind of like the warts and all is a nice thing, like that you don't have to be, same as what you guys are saying, like you don't have to be so perfect and polished. I think people really relate and enjoy seeing real people just talking about stuff. It's been surprisingly to some degree perhaps more popular than we expected, but I guess thank you to our audience for tuning in weekly and listening to us just talk and chat as we do in the office. Like it's just really a fly on the wall kind of setup, and yeah, it's been good fun. I quite enjoy seeing how often I wear the same clothes.
I know.
Good hair days, bad hair days. There's been times I've been editing the next episode. I'm like, oh my God, I've got the same clothes on as last week. But hey, COVID,
right.
Working from home.
I've never noticed that. Never noticed. Never.
I've let the cat out of the bag now.
Never had a look to see that. Yeah, the old bones of advertising, hey? I think I've always thought about an idea of like a full production. I don't know, like it's kind of like The Office, but real. The Office is obviously a situational comedy, which is just brilliant, and both sides of the ditch that they did in the UK and in the US. But I've always wondered whether that's a thing that you could get up. And I guess this is kind of where this came from originally. Doing a podcast was kind of like a foray to that. But there's so much, political correctness and things that we need to consider when thinking about doing that, like with the client's information and, whether we show the whole process of building a campaign, we're about to launch a large campaign for a client, and if you went through the process of when we met them, and that was kind of videoed and episodic all the way through to the point of them delivering the campaign and going out to market, and then looking at the success of the campaign and, having it go from a podcast, which we obviously then do the vlog that goes with it. But this would be, almost like having cameras following the entire thing. So the full journey and being privy to everything. And obviously it couldn't go out without client approval, or then without, having the thing aired. So if it's anything that's commercial in confidence that's not in the public domain, it wouldn't go out at that point. So that's something that's always kind of tickled my fancy, and I thought could be something, like there's so many of those things out there in market that are, I don't know whether you call them
reality TV shows.
Reality TV.
Yeah, you're pitching
called the agency.
Reality TV show.
I remember having this conversation with you, CARO. God, I don't know how long, maybe 8 years ago. When we were in South Melbourne office. Yeah, we talked about it.
I think it'd be fun. I fear that I would just, like, all the footage of me would just be me eating at my desk, stressfully.
Well, I don't think it'd just be just you, because often you're feeding me as well.
Yeah.
So it would
the feeder. I would be known as
the
CARO, aka the feeder, who's just going around and distracting and feeding everyone empty calories, or however you talk about sugar and lollies and all that kind of stuff. But who knows? Maybe we'll surprise everyone with a little foray into, some kind of reality TV show. I like it.
I mean, these days,
we'll be upmarket. It'll be a docu-series, not reality. Yeah.
Okay, docu-series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where actors will play us, so that won't be the real us. Okay.
That would be fun. Imagine casting yourself.
Casting myself. Oh, wow. But I've also enjoyed, I guess, the changes and ebbs and flows in it as well. We've obviously, tried to stay away from something that's like Gruen. We love Gruen. We've always loved Gruen. We love everyone on Gruen and the process that they go through to come up with our own kind of take on looking at commercials and understanding the value. We had a look at the bad side of commercials in previous series, and then had a look at the good side of commercials in this series as well. But I think the point of it is that, there's opportunities to look at what goes on in our space and really sort of consider what happens. I guess the part to make it full circle for me would be the effectiveness of all of those, which is what I was sort of talking to before. Like there's campaigns that I absolutely love, but obviously I don't have an idea of how successful they are for the brands. And there's some agencies work that I absolutely love as well, but I'm not sure, again, like whether the creative is just brilliant or whether the campaign worked its bum off as well. And it's probably difficult to get that kind of data too. But I think there's still a podcast in me. I'm just not sure exactly what it is and what might be the thing I did happen to say to CARO yesterday, which I'm sure you two and the viewers would laugh. It's me talking shit on my own for 15 minutes, just constantly talking crap, and then like, who would want to listen to that? Because I don't even want to listen to that.
I don't even know if you like, is that even possible for you to talk nonstop for 15 minutes?
Oh, me, I could do it underwater.
Being sarcastic, mate. I'd watch it. You would have one loyal viewer, and it would be me.
But that's only because you have to, because you'd edit it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'd
But what
enjoy.
about you two? What are your thoughts on the experience? And then, of course, moving forward, what's next in your mind?
What's next? I don't know, to be honest. I haven't thought that
That'd
far
be a good
ahead.
one. Okay, let's
Kind
just
of
have a podcast. I don't know.
I don't, yeah, maybe it's I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I? Oh, maybe it's
Probably
like
not a
where's
great
Wally?
thing for
But
someone
it's
with your
me.
title,
And
but
I go
that's
and
okay.
hide in places and you have to find me. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've loved it. I think it's I've enjoyed the experience and getting out of my comfort zone as well. Like I don't love the idea of being broadcast out into the world, but I've gotten used to that idea. And I guess that
Broadcast.
the initial kind of hesitation about like, oh, what will I look like? And all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, oh, whatever. It is what
Look
it
like
is.
me.
Warts and all, I'm here. So no,
Yeah.
it's been a fun time. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, good. What about you, Gabs?
Yeah, I've loved it. I've had heaps of fun. Same as you. When we first started, CARO, I was a bit like, oh no, what am I going to say? What are people going to think? But then after doing it for a while and the way in which we do it, it's just so comfortable. It's just like us having a chat in the office. So in terms of what's next, I don't know. I wonder if we throw it out to our socials or cast it out to a wider net and get some feedback from clients and from our followers on what they'd like to see next.
I reckon that would end up with a podcast called Boaty McBoatface.
Or how
I reckon
good.
we should just run with a podcast called Boaty McBoatface.
I feel like it would
All
be
the times you ask for public opinion and they take the absolute piss.
I feel
Boaty
like it would
McBoatface.
just be like pranks, like we'd just be made to do stupid things.
And
Like
Yeah, I
we're
think we should.
idiots.
I think it would be good to go down the path of doing something that, you have to set up. Like I think what we've got, it's obviously easy to produce and simple to come up with, the topics to talk about. But I mean, if we were going to do like a scare or like something that takes a little bit more grunt to pull it together, I'm definitely, there's ideas around what could you do there, like, and whether people would watch it and whether it's got anything to do with advertising. Who knows? But does it have to? I don't know.
maybe it doesn't.
We will just leave it at that cliffhanger. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at the cliffhanger.
Okay, quick. I'm not sure you two are prepared for this, but I clearly am. Quick review of your favorite moment over the last 18 months, 2 years. What was your number one that you really, really enjoyed?
Ooh, that's really tough because there's so many good ones. AKA, I haven't done any research.
I can't remember. Take
You
a quick
go
look at the
first.
website.
How about you go
look at it
first,
all.
Craig?
Look, there's a lot for me. I think still I go back to one that JD and I did years ago, which is where we sort of talked about the power of Qantas and some of those ads, and I still call Australia home. And I think Peter Allen's song, the enduring element of that particular cue and how it still resonates today, I think without a doubt, that's probably one of my favorite pieces. And I think it's something that's endured, for a long period of time. I mean, I remember we looked at Wheat Bix and Vegemite as well and how to build something that can last and stand the test of time. I think there's a lot of strength in that, and you don't get to do that all the time, unfortunately. Sometimes things don't have the capability to endure, but when you do, when you get to come up with something that's as good as I'm loving it, or I don't know whether the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's is quite at the same level, or whether it's Aldi good different, there's
It's really iconic.
they don't come across your desk every day. So I think thinking about, I still call Australia home as one of the most successful Aussie campaigns that I can recall. Obviously, there may be statistical data that refutes what I'm saying, but for me, that was a great one. I think JD really opened up the can and went all the way back to look at how it sort of began with the koala and the koala on the wing, I think it was, on the plane, and then all the way forward to where we had the choirs singing it out on rocks and stuff, and Ayers Rock, I think it was, and then on cliffs and everything as well. Yeah, so that would be my number one.
Rock.
Yeah, it was a rock somewhere.
It was a rock.
I thought of my favorite moment.
Go for it. What is it?
It was the episode we filmed together when we were in Noosa.
Noosa.
And I meowed all of those football.
That's right.
So good. That was great.
That
Yeah.
was great.
Meow, 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 meow. Oh, no, that's Jingle Bells. That's not a footy song, is it?
I don't know. I don't
Harmonics. Harmonics was hilarious. Remember JD trying to
Harmonics
hum?
was good.
Like he just couldn't hum. I don't know why he couldn't hum a tune.
Guess that brand as well was fun.
It's not that hard. He just couldn't do it though. It wasn't his go.
I
He can
wasn't
do
a very
many
good
things, but
hummer
he can't
either.
hum. That's okay. It's pretty premium humming right there.
I just love everything. There we go.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
All of it. Anyway.
Well, to everyone that's watched and listened and perhaps laughed, sniggered, made fun of, or even enjoyed anything that we put out there, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure producing it for you for the last 4 years. This is me, Craig McLeod, signing off on the Bones of Advertising, wishing you all the very best. There will be no next week, so don't go changing, but we won't see you. All the very best.
Farewell, friends.
Bye.